This one.
Okay, we'll call to order the meeting of the White Lake Library Town Trustees Board at 6:49. And we will immediately jump up and do our Pledge of Allegiance. Ta-da.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Karen, you want to do the roll call?
Sure, I did. President Jennifer Schultz,
Here.
Vice President Richard McGlue is absent excused. Secretary Karen Lyons here. Treasurer Gwendolyn Newton,
Here.
Trustee Eric Shotwell.
Here.
And Trustee Carrie Francis, absent excused. Also in attendance is Director April Stevenson and Assistant Director Amy Rosen.
Thank you. So do I have an approval of the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's three, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
3 yes votes.
All right, we have no public tonight. And we have no presentations. So I would need someone to approve the minutes.
Well, I wasn't here last month, so I.
Motion to approve the minutes. That's right.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Three votes. Three yes.
I'm gonna hand you the-
Okay, as far as the president's report, I would like to say congratulations, thank you, and everything else to April Stevens, our
Here.
director. Like, wait a minute, this should be on here somewhere. Our director here this is her 2-year anniversary. It's been very pleasant time, a good experience.
And we're happy to have you.
Lots it's been,
Very much.
lots that's been learned by all, so I would say we're ahead of where we were 2 years ago. All righty, and then on a side note, my daughter is being promoted to corporal.
Oh, congratulations, Jen.
And
Wonderful.
she finally got her PT score.
And
FT, PT,
we call
whatever.
it T in the Army, but they all have.
Yeah, so she changed from running, which was bothering her hips, to rowing. And was able
Ah,
to, in about a month, get the number she needed, so.
Yay.
wonderful,
So we're going to
Wonderful.
Virginia in June sometime. and we'll
Wonderful.
Watch her get her next stripe. So, yeah, we're all excited for her. She's been working on it very hard. And I like to say it here because maybe someone will know her and pass it.
yeah, wonderful.
Thank you for their service.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, so we're excited.
I'll pass it
All
on
right.
the other way.
And then Rick is not here. And your secretary would be Karen. Do you have anything?
I have nothing today.
Okay. So that brings us to Gwen.
Okay, the only thing I have today for the treasurer's report is to present the bills. We don't have a CD that's due until August. So I will bring that up next month for what we're going to do, and it's a CDR. It's a 6-month CDR, okay? So if there aren't any questions, April, you had said that.
Yeah, I do have one thing I just wanted to call people's attention to, under profit and loss budget versus actual dash year to date.
Okay,
Under 983 equipment, it shows that it's over, that's a mistake. Our accountant is going to correct that. It's supposed, the correct amount is supposed to be in building and improvements, and it would not be over. It's small.
dun, 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 dun.
What happened is the cost of the.
This was 983, and this was is this January through April? So, because we have an April 1, and then we have a January through April, so you're talking January. I get,
January through April.
yes, okay,
Yeah.
it's 152%,
Year to date,
yeah,
So
and
that's
so,
not correct.
okay,
That'll be corrected next month. Well, it's corrected now, but it'll be corrected when I get the updated.
okay, so it'll be through May.
So just wanted to draw your attention to that.
Anything else on your bills?
No, I was just looking to see,
Okay.
I was just looking at our budget and our income as well, so.
Okay. Alrighty.
So if there aren't any questions, I'm gonna I present the financial statement and the bills to be paid. And well, except I'm making a motion to accept the bills for payment as presented.
Okay,
I'll second that.
Thank you.
all in favor?
Aye.
Going so fast, I can't keep up here. So 3 yes votes?
Yes.
Okay, did you have anything else to present? Are you good?
I'm good. No, I don't have anything else until next month.
Okay, alrighty. So here comes the big part. Of the meeting.
Okay, administration partnered with the Huron Valley Council for the Arts for the Spring Art Market, which was successful.
I wanted to do that, I was out of town.
Yeah, it was fun. The artists, most of them did pretty well, not that they want to do it again
Oh.
next year.
Nice.
Nice.
We're looking at maybe later in June, maybe after
Too
June's
soon?
book sale next year.
Okay,
Most
could they
people,
do it out there as part of it,
that's
or
what
was
we're
it
thinking
too
is
big?
adding.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure how big it was.
Tents.
Oh, yeah.
Making it a little bit bigger,
Mhm.
and looking at some other options, but they definitely want to do it again, so that's a plus.
That's cool.
We held our staff and service day, which went well. It's fun. Learning new things. Circulation Services is doing some professional development and webinars. We've done a lot of shifting. And have helped to get our STEAM kits out. Big thank you to them. Stats are looking well. We did have 2, 3, 4 5-star Google reviews this month. Very appreciative of those patrons that were nice enough to go on and do that. One of them was actually for the Spring Art Market, so that was great. My director connections was a little bit lighter as I was on vacation, but still managed to get in a few things there. Facilities, we are continuing to make some minor adjustments on the ADA bollard. What has occurred is if someone walks up to the bollard and presses the button to open the door when we're closed, the door opens.
What?
Yep, door opens.
But you can't get in.
No, it opens. You can't get in.
them?
No,
No, you
just-
can't get in at the.
Right. Unless a person, one staff member, when we close, steps on a stool and hits the switch to turn it off and then turn it on in the morning.
Okay.
So our facilities specialist is looking into if there's some way to connect and bypass that so that we don't have to every morning and night
You get on the stool.
get on a stool, or whoever's tall enough to can reach stuff, but whatever. Oh, it's a little frustrating, but it's, at least there's an answer somewhat, but we're working. It's a work in progress.
So it doesn't set an alarm off or?
Well, it would, but luckily we haven't had somebody come up after hours.
Or do that.
Cause I'm like, why, yeah, how would
We get a phone call and they couldn't get in the building.
But
were
if they
just
could get in the
in
vestibule.
airlock Area,
How did we discover it?
because, what?
That's Robin
I
Wendell.
don't remember what. it was.
Patrons
were one of our circulars.
What we thought were open.
That's Wendell.
Open, so there were people in the, we noticed it back, but we thought it was like the doors had latched when somebody had
Right.
left during an vendor or somebody. And then patrons said, or circulation staff went to, and they were like, there's 5 people in the vestibule. It was locked, so.
Could they get back
Yeah, oh,
Well, that's unfortunate.
yeah. Now we don't really.
Wow.
There's always people waiting to come in, so I can see they would just hit the button.
Yeah, the problem is alarm.
Right, no, but I
Then
can figure that out,
Yeah.
because yeah, somebody's gonna just hit that and go, well,
Okay.
Wouldn't it be great if like helicopters sounded and somebody on the phone said, you have, gone further than you should or something like that.
except for Kim getting a call at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, that
And me and April getting, because it was Kim, April, me.
Okay, so that's, we're working on that and some other projects and just general, still dealing with the temperature on the youth side. I called Johnson Controls today and they were able to tweak remotely. It's hot over there. That's a different, there's two different units that handle that area.
It's been like a 5 year.
It's
concern.
and
Yeah.
this is not the only building that I've dealt with this at. But this one, yeah, so they were able to tweak it remotely. It was at 76. So they brought it down to 72 and it already feels better.
Good.
Not so much in the staff area. I still need to address that. So we'll see if it comes down by tomorrow. Might take longer in there because it is closed. So we'll see how that goes. Friends, enjoyed the volunteer recognition breakfast. And I thank them for their support for that. Their raffle basket sales are going well, and those will be awarded in June at the June book sale.
Oh, so they put them out earlier?
Yeah, you can buy tickets for them now. Okay. You buy raffle
They
tickets.
did that last year too. There was something else going on at the same time. So they did it at the book sale and something else that was happening here and people can come in when they're open in the morning and come in and buy tickets.
Monday, Wednesday,
Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 10 to noon.
And they are offering new members joining the Friends in June will receive 3 complimentary months of paid membership dues.
Nice, very nice.
That's nice.
Good time to read,
Mm-hmm.
or not really, that's all I need, sorry.
New members, right?
And then they are continuing to plan for the October dinner murder mystery event, which is Saturday, October 5th. Mark the calendars, please. We're excited about that. We did receive another donation of books from the Jane Frozen Agency in New York. You can see the picture there. They've been very generous to us.
Nice.
Mary Lou has created a separate adult graphic novel collection. And so that's pulled out, that is near the near study room 5, the nonfiction. So when you're headed out to the adult patio, you'll see it there. So rather than being interspersed in regular adult nonfiction, they've been pulled out as a separate collection. Okay, Chelsea continues to work on plans for a local author fair for 2025. And we've received $1,000 grant to purchase adult literacy content from the Dollar General Literacy Foundation. Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, thank you. That's wonderful.
Good. Yeah, that's good.
We've been collecting blankets and pillows and rugs and towels to donate to the Oakland County Animal Shelter, which we just did a first run today to drop things off. So that was a lot of people giving a lot of great things for local vets. Our several STEAM kits have debuted. Big thank you to Faith on that one. And the youth have completed, if you haven't seen it already, the summer reading program promotional video.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Is that out on our website?
Social media.
So I just didn't know we could do that.
ADT is almost done with the fob entry hardware and software, we're just making some tweaks and getting everyone's fobs aligned. Amy's doing everything else that's on that software stuff, part of it. And then obviously staff anniversaries. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the flowers and for my anniversary, and then Jennifer, who's been here 12 years, and Stephanie 3, and we got 1 year. So yay.
Yes, very nice.
And then again, we did update the website with a banner to show that we are open.
I saw that.
So, and I will pass this around on the share file. So we did receive a comment, someone asking for longer hours of operation and to open up on Sundays. They said would be nice year round, but even just during the summer would be helpful. Usually it's the opposite. Usually
Yeah.
a small microwave would be nice, they're saying, move tables in adult area, enforced quiet and no phone calls. So we'll see.
Move table.
I actually think the comment about the no phone calls is very, very valid. I've been in here a couple times and been sitting in the, and I thought, I'm just gonna sit down and read for 10 minutes. And there's people sitting over like at the window and they're on the phone and they're loud.
Oh, by the window, okay.
And I'm like, why are
And
you on the
there's-
phone in the
there's little
library?
Pig tents on. every-
There isn't there? That,
Yeah, that says.
yes, okay.
Go out here
Yeah.
to take.
I'm sorry, there is.
There is, but
Because-
but you're right, if they're not following that.
Right. When we're talking about the website. I keep looking at this. See how we have the blue banner? Can we figure, Heather figure out how to consolidate that? There's too much space in it.
Make it more.
Do you know what I'm saying? It says sign up for programs, reserve a room, manage your account. It's taking an awful lot of space at the top of the banner. And I think that it just,
But is it so there's enough room for your finger to hit each one?
no, no, because we don't have that anywhere else in our website. But I've just noticed that a lot of times, like right now, we have this big orange banner up there. When we don't, it takes up quite a bit of space, and so then you really have to do a lot of scrolling where if we didn't have that big of a gap in there, you'd be able to see more of what your first notices are.
Can you take a screenshot of that?
Yes.
And just email it to me? Or
Yes.
text it,
Yeah, absolutely.
because I.
Because every time I look at it, I think, shoot, if that was just a little smaller, I'd be able to see this very next thing about, like the library board meeting. So,
I can send that, if not Heather, I can send it to our Piper
okay,
and see what they can do.
thank you.
There's some way to make it a little bit.
I just, every time I open it up, I think, we should fix that.
I also have looks like a thank you note from that agency that gave us those books to me, that you know. Also a thank you note from the Huron Valley Numismatic Society. I botched that one. Thank you for that. And then staff, as I was showing Gwen earlier, staff gave me a very nice little happy
That is really
anniversary.
nice.
Very
Which I thought was very sweet, along with a couple of pictures from our staff and service.
You know what it looks like on that page, Gwen? Is it looks like the social media icons wrapped to a second cell, which makes that cell wider than it needs to be.
That's
It's-
probably exactly what it is.
it
And
adds-
I see on a tablet, it looks fine. On a computer, it looks fine.
Except for
it-
like you can see the TikTok icon is below
yeah.
it.
I think
See
that, I
on
think
the
that's
right?
the problem.
Yeah, so it's using up 2 lines in the cell.
Social media using 2 lines, so.
I think you're absolutely right. Because obviously on a PC, it's not that way, but if you go to a phone, it is.
Chances are if you balance the cells, use 4 cells and make them dynamic to fit
Thank
the
you.
text.
Mine does it this way, it does this way in 2 rows.
Interesting.
No, but if you do, okay, but see the space that it is between sign up for programs, then there's a big space, reserve a room, big space, manage your account.
Yeah,
I think that's. And I think that Eric might be right. It might all be due to the TikTok.
it's actually, it's all the social media accounts where they're at. The cell is too small. It's not wide enough.
So it's
when I-
actually
when I switch
causing
to
a
portrait-
wraparound issue.
Yeah, when I switch to portrait, three of the icons move below. So it means that cell on the right is too small, too narrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Eric's right. And so then when, like I said, it'd be nice to see the first headline
It would be-
underneath the library and, looking for a book. So,
Should be a small tweak.
yeah, that's what I thought.
I'll ask her first.
Thank you. I know it's just operational, but I thought, I'm gonna bring it up while we're looking at the
Might as well.
website.
Well, and that's part of why we're also
Yeah.
looking at an app, because this.
Right.
might be a little bit-
I would love to see an ad.
I have an opinion on the app. Our company has gone to, instead of using apps, we use mobile responsive websites.
Oh,
They
yeah.
dynamically adjust to the size of the screen,
Mm,
which this doesn't do. But like our site, no matter what size, if you watch it on a watch, it fits the size of the screen. If you watch
Oh,
it on a tablet, it changes.
we should talk,
It's
really.
funny you said that, because the majority of the vendors that I've talked to. They can do an app, but they're really pushing the website, because the website stuff is so much better now.
Okay,
And so much more responsive.
Yep.
That you really don't need an app,
Yeah.
okay.
and no one wants another app on their
Yeah.
phone, so it's kind of in this back and
Well-
forth, but.
Our company wins awards on ADA compliance and accessibility, and that was the main reason that we moved away from the app.
And that's coming up
Okay.
legally, we have to make sure, I'm working with Piper to make sure that we're ADA compliant, because there's new law out there, so. we
Mhm.
gotta-
So maybe that's what we
So
need to look at. And
we may have to change gears, but we'll see.
Yeah, you can always also go to, there's several of them on Google. If you go to Google and look up ADA compliance checker, it will actually run your website through and give you recommendations on what things to fix. And usually they're small enough that you can fix them with.
Well, I like the mobile
Okay.
adaptability a
Yeah.
lot.
That's one of the reasons I think the mobile accessible websites are significantly better
Okay,
than an app.
that might save us a lot of money.
Okay.
Also, if an app breaks, it's hard to fix it.
Right.
Whereas website breaks, easy to fix.
Right, that is very true.
So I'm
And things that probably even the Heather could fix if she knows just a little bit about the back end code.
Yep.
Oh, it's the adult area. So I'm guessing she means that. That would be part of the adult area?
Yeah, could be. It was never full.
Maybe she should put on what's on the. Oh, nice. So what did I miss what this is for?
No, I need to talk about that.
Oh, this is not a board member thing? Okay, gotcha. What did I miss? I thought it was here.
And then stats, not much great on about staff, they're staying in their averages.
Which are all significantly better this year than they were last year.
Mhm.
Almost all of the numbers are up
Yes.
from last year. Which is fantastic.
If you anticipate, I hope it doesn't go down over the summer, but I probably will anticipate a dip because of the construction. I mean, I'm
Oh,
hoping some
right.
reading keeps it at least steady, but.
There's already been a lot of confusion on the White Lake happenings and all of that about, is that road open for the library with what? And then, of course, people asking, why is it open for the library?
But I'm hoping it's true that there's gonna be a sign that says the library is open.
That's what I've been told. There's gonna be a specific sign added to the closure, road closure sign that says that the library is open.
Yeah, cause that road closure one is lit, right? It's the
Digital.
digital.
That's not
They
what they're
sh-
talking about. They're talking about the old fashioned barrier one.
Okay.
Sign for that.
Yeah, barriers.
But why wouldn't they, why couldn't they put the digital?
Yes.
Because a lot of times you read a digital, it's got more than one thing on it, right? About a road closure.
Have we added a slide to our sign that says, hey, come on in, we're open, normal hours?
I think Heather's working on it.
Okay.
This week we've been getting everything up and out.
Have
as
you
it was-
put anything out there about the Memorial Day weekend closure? We said we would try to do that within 4 days.
Yeah, I'm sure that's in the works, yeah.
In the works, it should be out there. Because we're gonna be
Right, because we're closing,
closed
I
Monday.
can check and see where.
because we're closing Friday, right?
No, we're closing Monday.
So Saturday.
And we're closed Saturday.
Saturday and Monday.
So that's my point.
I mean,
It should be out there now. So that people aren't coming up here on Friday. Or, or Saturday thinking the library is gonna be open and we have the library closed for 3 days.
I'll make sure it's up tomorrow.
Okay. And then this, same thing with 4th of July, that's coming up too.
Right. What day of the week is 4th of July?
But my fingernails are just like on that side of being too long to get around. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay.
Did you have anything else?
Yeah, anyway, yes, about the construction. So again, I talked to Kelly at the time a little bit. She was trying to get some information from Oakland County Road Commission. It's possible our entrance could get closed and they may have to put in another entrance. I don't know yet.
Well, seems like we're going up the way from the circle.
I don't know, because I don't know if we're going to go beyond that. Concerning me that there's spray paint on our driveway, our entrance already with some arrows. Maybe it means nothing, maybe it doesn't, but. I'm hoping.
Okay,
An alternate
Any
entrance.
problems with stuff coming in our entrance and then going over
That's not
To
the
the-
issue right now.
No, but I'm just thinking
Yeah.
that's gonna be an issue possibly.
What's more what's more of a concern to me is if they try to, Amy and I walked out there to kind of see what they would be talking about if that were to happen, and I just don't see where they can do it when
Well,
you've
it's
got
quite a
drainage.
It's
Right.
quite a ravine
Rock
there.
drainage.
Yeah.
And a small thing, and a sidewalk,
Mhm.
I just don't see how you're gonna do that, so I'm hoping
Mm.
that's not the case, and. I'm even gonna go so far as to go, as soon as I see some people out there, possibly tomorrow, I'm gonna try to find out who the foreman is, just to try to get some more answers.
Well, I would think that the county would tell you as the library director.
They reached out to me too.
You know.
I think you can call them.
Yeah, you know, who you
For
need
sure.
to talk to is Johnson, not Johnson. Who built the place?
Pardon?
Who built here? McCarthy and Sons. They're doing that construction too.
Yeah, but they're not doing the road. That's what the problem right now is the
Yeah,
road.
but We had problems with road commission. We used their leverage to
Mm.
talk to them
Mm.
about things, at least to figure out what was
Mm.
going on.
But I would think that the county would talk to you.
You think?
No, but I think that you could call them and they'll talk to you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try because I've gotta get some straighter answers. I'm getting. They just haven't been forthcoming. Lee said to me, they haven't been forthcoming with the township either, so.
But it's not affecting the township right now, like it's affecting the library. And summer reading is like one of our hot
it's a big
times a
month.
year.
It's summer
biggest
concert
thing.
Right.
series coming out.
Right.
see, and I thought, and I don't wanna. I thought a person on the board who we usually talk to had told us that our driveway's not involved. That until they get to putting the parking, there's gonna be some parallel parking in there.
That parallel parking though, from what the township put out on Facebook, is going to happen when all of this happens by October 1st. It would,
That way.
Yeah, but she told me that we wouldn't get to that for a while. But that's kind of on the back end of it. I don't know. And I don't wanna misspeak,
well,
crossing.
let me see if I can find it. It was out on Facebook today from the township. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know that. Hang on.
I think when I understand the whole road is getting done, everything's gonna be done now. It's my understanding, but I don't.
That was the way it, okay, so this was 2 days ago. From White Lake Township. White Lake Township would like to inform residents that the library will remain open through the road closure and accessible from 59 and Elizabeth Lake Road near Kroger. Residents will not be able to access the library from Teggerdine. There was another article though
Yeah,
that
but
was.
that's not,
It was
not
an
true,
article
because that's
from the
why I did
township
the way I
though,
did.
that said specifically what was going to happen. Okay, here it is. This was May 15th. We have somebody in our neighborhood that's very good about posting everything the township posts, post it to our neighborhood site. So, yes, he's fabulous about staying in contact. Okay, so it's gonna be May 22nd through October 1st. It will bring significant, okay, the closure is necessary for reconstruction of Elizabeth Lake Road, a project that will also bring significant safety improvements. The improvements include construction of a roundabout at Elizabeth Lake Road, Town Center Boulevard, intersection, pedestrian sidewalks, crosswalks, street lighting, on-street parking, and a road that will better accommodate future development. Residential, business, and emergency access will be maintained during the work. The detour through the traffic, and then gives the detour. Springline Excavating is a contractor for the project on behalf of the township. So, that's, on-street parking is going to happen through this program before October 1st is done.
I know that.
Yeah.
but She told me it'd be after they got the circle and stuff in. Is what I thought. I may have
Okay,
misunderstood what she told me. I just asked her, are we ever gonna be closed off totally? And she said no. And that the on-street parking.
I got
was
it.
the last part of the stuff they were doing. But I may have misunderstood. There was a lot going on when we were talking to each other.
Yeah, I'm on the road commission site, that's what it says, but it's just kind of vague. It's not specific enough. But I'm gonna reach out and see what I can find out. I'll keep you informed.
Thank you.
Glad when you put following the constructing company, excavating company.
No.
Talking to them, I wouldn't put that out of the picture. I might just do that.
Yeah. I'll try to bring it.
Okay, so we're done with the director's report. We'll
Yep.
move on to committee reports. Who wants to lead the person writing the extra person segment?
I have the report things for the meetings there. Finance. Policy, Karen. Karen, could you ask me?
Yeah, you gotta.
There. Building.
Okay.
Okay,
The end of blue is what we're.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So finance.
okay, I'll do that. So as you can, most of you can read well, but we did review. Oh, you don't have this? Oh, I thought you already had it. Okay, sorry. So we reviewed the most recent budget numbers and everything's on track. We received more tax funds than predicted, which is good. Not a lot more, but more. We've received half of our state aid for the year. We received more than predicted so far on our interest, which was great, and our interest for the year, we've already preceded what we anticipated, so we're all very happy about that. The Friends will provide their check to us in the fall, which is $30,000, which is fabulous. April's gonna inquire with the auditor regarding whether or not to amend the budget at some point to move the interfund transfer from budgeted to received. So how we should exactly do that.
That's June 5th.
Thank you. June 5th. And, so then we review the 2024 staff budget and a proposed 25 staff budget to determine the implementation of a staffing change later this year. So we talked about that at length, and we were planning on bringing it up tonight. However, with two people missing, I asked April if we could wait till our June meeting so that we're all on the same page. We reviewed the finance policy for an area that addresses the fund balance and decided to reach out to the attorney for some examples on how we should use the fund balance, how, what the percentage of our monies should be in fund balance. And so we're waiting on an answer on that. And we're looking for the legal information on fund balance policies because we don't really have a great fund balance policy. And April, we'll check with Amy regarding any documentation that she may have received from her finance class on fund balance policies. Sure.
Sorry.
So we've had a lot going on since then. So Amy, when you took your finance classes, we're looking for any information that the MLA or the ALA, whoever you took your finance classes through, talked about fund balance policies.
Yeah, it's the University of Georgia, but
Okay.
I have all the paperwork and the license in my somewhere.
If you could check, that'd be great. So,
Balance?
yes. Because there's probably some very standards around fund balances that we may not be adhering to. Because a lot of times the fund balance will have a designation of so much of the fund balance should be designated for building improvements and those kind of things. So, okay. And then we are looking at forming a library foundation or changing the library to 5013C. I am going to reach out to ALA and MLA and any documentation that they have. And then the library director in Clarkston, she did a presentation to directors, but it was quite a few years ago, on how they set up, and she had a presentation that how she set up their foundation. But I think there may be some changes in how things were done since she's done it. So I'm going to reach out to ALA and MLA before our next meeting in June. And hopefully I'll have some things to bring back and we can discuss as a board. That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Policy committee?
You wanna go ahead?
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah, there's
So-
nothing on strategic planning.
Just what was, just what you were given, you know.
Yeah, we actually met, what was it, yesterday?
I was given something.
It seems like a lifetime ago. It was a long day. To review the updated hotspot and the cake pan policies, and April had suggested a combined Idea Lab policy to include the hotspots, the cake pans, and the combination of laser engraver and the 3D printer all together. So, and we did hear back from the attorneys regarding the personnel manual. We'll be reviewing the changes and updates for the next meeting. So it was really a fairly light meeting overall. Anything else you'd add?
No, that pretty much hit it down.
All right.
Yeah. I do want to say in strategic planning, though, it's good to see that Emily's have spent time this month with the school.
We have broken in.
Yes,
Yeah,
that is
we've
fabulous.
really- She did a great job. She's visited quite a bit of schools. She's comes in and and it's great to hear, and they're excited, the kids were excited. Yeah, it's starting, and I'm so happy to see it. And she's done a great job. It's just so happy. So
Good.
happy about it.
That's awesome. Oh, Jen, one other note about the policy committee, since you weren't copied on the email that I saw about this too. The hotspot policy, April felt like we had to update it because there've been consistent late returns of the hotspots.
Yes, I read that.
And they've gotten put in the book drop instead of returned
I
inside.
saw that too.
So, yeah, okay. Just want to make sure that you were aware of that one.
And then I'm sorry, what is the book for this year?
What's that?
What's the book for this year?
The book?
Like, we did like To Kill a Mockingbird when we were, and we did it, no, we don't have them this year?
That's the Great Michigan meeting, we don't decide it.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought that that was something that was part of summer reading. My kids have been out of it for a while. Well, good, so they're counting how many books. Anything else on strategic plan?
No, the only thing I would draw your attention to is, I did add the actual month. And you'll see that in some areas, there's back information, which I know was a request, last month, Rich had mentioned. Keep some of the back stuff if it's relevant to the new, to kind of show what's been going on, so,
Otherwise, you collapse it.
yeah, otherwise, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh,
And then building committee, that's gonna be anything that's in the blue.
it would be helpful. Could you get these? Okay, we met with Castell, which does sound installation, but also other things for other workspaces, you know, that you would want to do something visual for, or in our case, we want to use them to help with sound editing in the.
And
in the
I
idea lab. Then if, depending on budget, expanding it to this. But right now, the focus and what in the budget is for the idea lab. And they showed us a lot of nice stuff and good examples, and we kind of lighted on like 3 different approaches. And
Okay.
we're gonna go through that and maybe we can get samples for the next meeting, maybe they'll come in at the next meeting or the
Okay.
meeting after that. It takes like, what did they say, 12 weeks? For some of the stuff, because it comes from
depending.
Brussels.
Okay,
Okay, but there's other stuff they do locally that's more like 8 weeks. She said she had said as little as 3. So it just depends what we want to do. I thought it was a good meeting. It was about an hour and a half.
It was
Yeah.
really nice. They brought us in after hours. They had so many examples. The room we were in, actually had ceiling, wall, and of course, carpet and floor, but it just And the purpose of that room is not the same as the idea lab, obviously. We just felt so calm, it's just so
Mhm.
quiet.
It didn't feel like there was.
It didn't, but there's so many, like, where our teal, our angle goes on the wall in the idea lab. You know, Jen was thinking of something that looks like a wave because they have something that can be on a wall and it looks like that.
It's really cool.
Or hang from the ceiling, there's ceiling options that too, so just, there's so many more options than even I had any of them.
Yeah, so we talked to them about that. They showed us some floor samples and stuff too. But we've got the vinyl in there for cleanup, so we thought it would just be a waste of money. We could put it someplace else.
Did they say acoustically, if the ones that hang from the ceiling work better than the?
That, like, a technology person wasn't there,
Okay.
but they do use a rating system called RT60.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever our, like, we asked for like a best, a good, better, best kind of situation. And they're gonna run numbers on all of that. They need some info from us on what reflects off our ceiling already. Was that what
Yeah,
was
but that's
missing?
on a few more things.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're to run a real good test. Like, but, and I said, well, what does? I need a grid on what 70 versus 80 means, you know, so I'm hoping they'll be able to.
Have they been out here? Okay.
They have pictures that they were looking at.
They're
Okay,
the ones
great.
that provided me the initial information to get your budget number.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Great.
That was fun. Let's see. Pictures and specs, so like, okay. This talks about the process, that we owe them some info and we've given them some info and they're gonna try to find something that fits. And there's also an update on vacuum pilot fix. They haven't arrived yet and we were unable to complete it over the 18th weekend. And as soon as it comes, we'll schedule it out with Bill.
Yeah, Bill was anticipated use of five, we're gonna be in, so we go with the 18th through 19th, but this applies to.
So we're still looking at locker options and stuff like that, things that are attached to the wall. Or make a coating wall to put stuff on, kind of thing. And also, we're gonna continue to work on the building assessment sheet. Which is where we listed like. Roof and AC and big letter or big number items. And then we're gonna start filling those in, you know, what do we have to do now, where can we get estimates, that kind of stuff.
And a generator?
Well, we're still talking about.
I'm still worried about the generator.
We need a generator to run the library, as if we never, we need a generator just to run. Sprinkling system, or what do we want the generator? So any ideas?
Well, my biggest concern is that, we lose power in the winter and we have pipes that freeze.
Yeah.
That's my biggest concern.
So, and that would be a smaller function, than something to keep the building running.
Right.
The information for the generator that I brought the building committee a couple months ago, showed the average cost being around 200,000-300,000 for a whole building.
Okay,
So
That's when we decided maybe we don't need a whole
Well,
building.
right.
generator.
right. Well, I mean, when you really look at what's important to me is that we don't have broken pipes. Do we have anything else that would be, because if it's really, really bad weather, we don't want our patrons coming out, we don't want the employees coming out, right? So the building's not
We
gonna,
need to protect the assets.
right, right. What do you think, Karen?
Are there any companies that just do that? That, you know, like emergency
Yes.
generator,
Mhm.
where we would just be under a contract where,
They would bring one out?
yeah.
Well, that's a good point.
I mean, I can't see it because, you know, they go on, there's a
But I
rush on them at Home Depot as soon as there's a power.
But I know
outage.
you can do a generator that just does limited.
Right. But
What's a
where's
working-
all our water lines? Because if not, then no, you have to have the whole building heated to a certain temperature.
But all we need it to be heated to is just above freezing.
About 50 is usually
Right,
what they
that's
keep
what I
it at
thought.
for-
So it's something the building committee is kind of,
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah, we don't
I
really,
think you need to find out though from somebody too, because I don't know where our water is, but if it's not towards the outside, it would take an awful lot to.
For it to-
burst pipes.
that's very true.
Yeah,
Very true.
you know, for the pipes to freeze, if all our pipes are within and none of them are on the outer walls. It would have to be like,
Hmm.
we would have to be sub-zero for several days with no power before it starts. We
Right.
only got a generator this year, we've never had.
We
pipes
did too.
freeze. And we've had 5 days at least, 3 or 4 times every winter. And we have outside, you know, I, one that's kind of on an outside wall.
I've experienced not having a generator and pipes freezing.
Yeah, see, we haven't. had
Because
them
we
freeze, so I think
had
it's-
one room with 2 rooms with outside walls.
Yeah.
And
see,
I would
that's
hate
where-
to see that kind of situation happen to the library and we lose assets.
Yeah, other libraries are doing partial, or beginning to look at partial as opposed to.
I would think that that would be all that we would need.
So that's all the county reports right now.
It's,
And I don't think it, I mean, we could put them in the pack that goes out. Unless,
I usually do them as like just keeping in the big one, the
Yeah.
master one,
oh,
so that the report, like when.
So what it says
refers to.
yeah, so I've got that the report was provided and then placed on file, so
Yeah.
all of that
Oh,
is
okay.
with this and.
Yeah.
And I think hearing
April's-
you talk about it just
Yeah,
good enough.
generates conversation, yeah.
yeah, that's good
Absolutely.
enough, I think, for the rest of us.
Mhm.
And then it just says it's placed on file, so then April just adds all that to, correct?
Okay.
Because I
So
just give you this.
the way this is set up, I'm just gonna talk through this. We get a highlight in the committee reports.
Mhm.
And if there's something to be voted on, we put it under new business or old business.
Okay,
That's how it is now.
Mhm.
We don't, like, we're not voting on the hotspot when you gave your update. It's on here
Right.
as new business.
Yep.
Are we good with that?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking about it the other day.
yeah, because we
should
have
just do
voted,
it all at
okay, because we have
once.
voted before for finance. When I'm presenting CDs, we have voted while I do the finance committee report. But we can do it at new business.
Well, I just think we need to be consistent. And I
Absolutely.
was just thinking about the staffing issue that we talked about and about these little hotspot and cake pan things. Do we just do it within the committee report? Or do we go to the trouble of putting it on the agenda? So,
I think it's good to have it under new business simply
Under new
because that way
business.
it's a check mark, like we can look for it every time. And there, if there's a vote on something,
yeah,
Okay.
I just want to be consistent.
that's my
That we
opinion.
don't slip something through on strategic planning as we're going through the
Mhm.
spreadsheet. When we should have maybe pulled it out, so we knew where to look
Right,
if we needed history on it or something.
So anything that requires a vote, place
Just place it under new
under.
business.
or
Unless it's.
old.
or old business.
Yeah, I mean, we can discuss it during the committee reports, but then the actual vote should be in new business.
And it used to
Open.
be that anything that was finance related was always put
Part of
under the
Treasurer, because we didn't
report.
have a finance committee.
I know, but I still think it would be better under the treasurer's report. The actual voting.
I can do that, but usually, you know, I usually do my treasurer's report before I do the finance committee report, and the finance committee is where we make the decisions on what we're gonna do with the money.
Yeah,
So-
that's the.
Right.
That's where it's kind of.
Right, so it'd be sort of backwards for me to say, I wanna vote on this without having to, unless I brought any kind of investment monies that we're gonna do. Or moving of monies to the treasurer's report instead of waiting for finance.
Yeah, see, that's what I think would work a little bit better is that that's there. And then the finance committee is the other kind of things. Because in the past,
Okay.
it's only been stuff like moving money, whether
Right.
we're moving it from place to place.
Right,
So that I would think is part of the treasurer's,
Like CDs are part of the treasurer's report,
Report.
but
but
staffing issues, which that we approve the monies for,
yeah,
might come under new business.
okay,
yeah.
Does that make sense?
yeah, it's fine by me.
I think the advantage in having it later too is if there's anyone that's late for a meeting, we don't jump to that and miss out on a potential vote.
Yeah.
You're more likely to stay late than you are to arrive early.
I'll agree with that. Okay.
All right, so only if
keep
we're
seeing-
moving, only if we're moving money. Will it be in the treasurer's report?
Yeah,
That's fine.
That works.
Yep, works for me.
All right, so new business. Are we doing hotspot or are we doing hotspot?
okay,
I
so
don't
I have to
understand.
kind of help out here, because I wanted to give, I know in the past, sometimes I've given you a policy and I haven't given you the original or something, so I tried to
Right.
just give you everything. So let's just start with hotspots. You see the original here, 2G hotspots, that it says in black. Then you're gonna see draft one, this is the one that, I presented to policy committee last night. I know, it feels like a week ago.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
my goodness. And they liked that. And I talked with Karen today and she had a couple of good suggestions. So we did a draft. I wanted to present a draft two. Because I didn't want to, I wanted you to see the progress and how it came to that. So if you look at draft two, what has been added is two things. Obviously, the middle paragraph, hotspots must be returned to the circulation desk at this library and may not be returned in the book drop, to the drive up, to another library, or by mail. Three of those have three of those happen. Quite a bit. And then the other, so then because of that, we changed in the middle here, library reserves the right to refuse service, blah, 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 or repeat
Offenders.
this, yep. It's important to note that 3 late returns or 3 violations of the return policy within a 6-month period, which is right
Meaning,
above.
Putting it in the book drop. It's just as bad as being 2 weeks late. That's what
Yeah,
we're
they
saying.
can damage it.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the change from draft 1 to draft 2.
Mhm.
And so that's the one that I'm requesting that we change it to. Thoughts?
To this,
Draft 2.
that's what we want to do.
Wait a minute. So you're not saying the one that's got 3 paragraphs?
Yes, I am saying that's the one.
Okay.
Draft 2.
3,
That's draft 2.
the one with 3 paragraphs, Jen, this is,
Oh,
no,
this one.
this one. That's why I'm like, Jen's looking at, I'm like, okay, okay. Cause I'm like, wait a minute, Jen's pointing to something that doesn't match what I thought you just said. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's why I tried to have draft 1, draft 2, kind of.
Does it say that? Yes, it does. It does say draft 2 in big letters.
Where? Oh,
The-
draft
Right
2,
across it.
yes, yes, draft 1, draft 2, yes, draft 2 is the one that I, yes.
Okay. So that's the
Is
one
it
I'm.
one hotspot at one time in one family? Or could, like, if
per-
you're going on vacation, well, it doesn't really, and you wanted to have more hotspots, could you and your husband or?
Library card.
Yeah.
Yes, for library card, we can't really,
Just checking.
Is there ever a time when they're all out?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Oh,
says
We bought-
that there, it's because a lot of them are lost.
yes.
Right.
And it's so silly,
Yeah,
Mhm.
because they can't even use them.
Yeah, they're
Uh-huh.
completely shut down. The day, your last day, boom, it's turned off. It's an automatic. Just
that's pretty bad, you know.
So that's what I'm requesting first, is this hotspot update.
May not be returned in book drop. Or to another library, or by mail. Okay. You guys keep track of that?
So, and I think that this last paragraph is important too, that people don't, they don't honor the hotspots, they don't get to use them in the future. They do it again, they're done.
How much is it to replace one?
it says right on it, is it?
It's
100?
about 100.
It's, when you check one out, it says right on it.
Yeah.
Each of the bits, how much
Right.
each part costs. If you use the charging cable, it's this, if you use.
Yeah. 9. Be doing that in just a second. 20, it's about $125, $130. Including your hotspot unit, the battery, the SIM card, the power cord, the case. So if none of that comes back, it's a significant cost.
Do they, I know we charge penalties and late fees for late books. Do we do it also for the hotspots?
It's $1 a day.
Is that enough?
Well, that's something we did kind of,
Yeah.
staff and I kind of talked about was that something we want to do? Right now it's $1 a day, and the device will be deactivated. If the hotspot is lost or returned damaged, we'll be charged a replacement fee and a $5 processing fee.
That's, I was gonna ask. about
Yeah,
that.
that's, yeah.
So.
Want to
it's
make sure we're
something we
not,
thought of.
I want to make sure we're not hung out to dry if someone forgets that we have to pay for everything. It's not enough to just shut someone down someone's card, but
And I think $1 a day is fair, because if it's just that you're late getting back, you shouldn't have this huge
Right.
fine because, you know, you took it on a vacation
Sure.
and you got caught in the blizzard. And so you were too late.
right, or it was too dangerous to bring it back because of the blizzard.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
It's,
It offers some
the-
grace.
The people who are constantly doing this,
Yeah.
you have to have a way to put a
Mhm.
stop to.
Agree.
Where it says in the last line, we encourage all patrons to adhere to the borrowing policies. Is it too strong to say we expect all patrons to adhere?
Yes.
Encourage just sounds,
I'm good with
We
that.
expect-
Yeah,
I don't want to be too harsh, but I'm like,
But this.
I agree with it.
yeah,
We demand.
we will take your dog.
Well, a lot of people use those hotspots so much, we don't want to be without,
Yeah, that's it.
Right?
Yeah, it's an important resource.
right?
And the people who do use them a lot and use them correctly would be very well okay with this,
Yes,
you know, like,
I use them, I would be,
and. You know, I realize, I mean, one time my husband was coming back and, will I make it, will I make it? And
if
I'm
I go
like,
up north.
"Don't worry about it.
Mhm.
It'll shut off, but, you know,
When we were doing different interviews for the library, I didn't always know if I was gonna have really great internet connection when I was out taking in Wisconsin, and so I just took one with me and I just always used it for our meetings, those Zoom meetings, because then I didn't have to worry about the fact that something might happen to, you know, the internet where I was in,
Mhm.
so. Yeah, and you used them,
I've
right?
used them a
Yeah,
lot, yeah.
yeah.
We're really good at knowing that the power is going to go out and
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it knows they're always gone. It just, I mean, before the power goes out, people know.
Oh,
And
yeah,
we
Mhm.
lose internet way more frequently than we lose power, and we lose power.
yes,
frequently,
and I have
so,
been up here and we're out of hotspots,
Yeah.
And it wouldn't matter how many you had.
exactly.
Right.
Well, didn't we double them last year? Yeah, and which I really think really helped.
Well, maybe we need more if they're still constantly.
They're not constantly out, but in the summer, if we know there's power outages and people hear it's coming, a lot of people run to the library and get a hotspot. If, you know, in the summer, there's some real peaks, you know, around the 4th of July,
Yeah.
those kind of,
holiday weekends.
right. right.
Road trips.
We're getting someone to say,
So
let's do draft 2 and change the word encourage to expect. Is that where we're at?
So I propose, under special services and special collections in the Idea Lab, that, 2GA for hotspots, we accept, the proposal draft 2 as written with the change of, instead of we encourage, we expect all patrons to adhere.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Well, if you write reference to Eric, all you gotta do is erase the age or put an E. I'm just saying. I wrote Rich again. Okay. Pig pan top.
Okay, so a similar situation with cake pans, you will see in the black font, the original cake pans. I just happened to be reviewing this because it was in the policy manual and in that area, and this is an idea lab, so thought it should be added, but I thought, oh, you know what?
I actually like the way it was reworded, Karen, thank you.
Yeah, and so Karen, thank you to draft two,
Yes,
yeah, so adding that.
All right, I'd make a motion to approve special services, special collections policy 2GB on cake pans as written in draft 2.
With the final sentence that says this ensures the proper handling. of
Mhm.
equipment.
Yes,
yes.
yes, with that final.
I do, and you made the motion and I second that. But I do have one, why not the drive-up window?
I don't at this time want it to turn into, without someone being in there all the time, I don't want it to turn into a return.
Okay. I knew that there was a reason, that's why I was just asking.
Makes sense.
Yes,
Minimize the
Yeah,
unintended
we-
use.
Do that. So
Okay,
we've got
go
Eric
for the
made the motion, Glenn seconded it.
Yes.
And all in favor?
I,
Okay. Another two. Yes.
Okay, so for your purposes of just having it in here so that you can see it for comparison purposes, you'll see the original 3D printer approved policy. You'll see also what I brought forth last month with the proposed laser engraver policy, which is when it was requested to combine them. And then lastly, you'll see the G Idea Lab. Now, it's not the hotspot that is on there and the cake pan that is on there is not the draft 2. I just didn't have time to get it switched over.
You're
So,
showing how you're gonna put it into the.
correct, thank you.
It's all gonna
Yes.
be under idea.
Right. So where you really want to focus your attention is on, gonna be on C, laser engraver and 3D printer. I'm looking to see what you think of the wording for that. There have been no changes since probably the committee looked at it last.
And that's draft 1, right?
Right.
Okay.
and you're basically, you just took the A's, you know, you had the 3D printer and you had them numbered, you know, A through G, A through E,
Correct.
and you just combined those together to make one statement.
And then just change like to equipment or.
So,
So this
and
is-
these originally had like, just, they had letters. We're not doing that because.
No, I
Okay,
couldn't do it because we have the A hotspots, B cake pans, C, so.
Then you're into 1, 2, 3.
I
So
could
roll
go
into-
right, and then you're usually into 1, 2, 3s, and I don't really care. I just wondered if the rest of the, if
Yeah.
the rest of the document looks like this with the A, Bs.
And
the
looking at the
bullets.
consistency of some of the other policies, it looks like the newer policies have gone to bullet.
Okay,
points.
thank you. Yeah, it was just,
Is this first part here talking about making plastic guns and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
so these drafts for hotspots and cake pans are gonna replace
Correct.
what's here right now. Okay,
They're not gonna be standing.
no, but they're gonna be, because this,
The 2s are gonna replace the 1s, right?
Yeah.
yes, because like what we're looking at here, that includes laser engraver and 3D. These two, the cake pans and the hotspots, these are not what we just approved.
Right,
No, they're draft 1.
Okay.
That's my understanding.
that's correct.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was good with where we were last meeting on the engraver and on the other thing, 3D printer. So that hasn't changed. We've just changed where it is in the numbering. Okay.
So basically what this means is 2G, as I said in the email, 2G hotspots will become 2G ideal at A hotspots, et cetera, cake pans, B. The drive up window policy, which was 2I, will now become 2H.
Okay.
Okay,
And the 2 goes all the way back to what?
The 2, I don't have that, I can tell you what 2 is.
And it's from.
We're moving it to June.
And we changed, by the way, the last line where it said there's no implied fitness for use of any artifact created.
Yeah,
We
thank you.
changed it to items created with those items come with no guarantee of suitability for any specific use.
Yeah.
A little more common language.
Yeah,
Just to itself, or, yeah, to itself with special services and special collections, and then you have a photocopiers, the example, things that are. Listed.
All right, so. We need to vote on that.
so I make a motion that we accept the laser engraver and 3D printer. Updates to the special services and special collections for the Idea Lab. And accept as written. In draft one.
Draft two.
No, this is draft one.
Yeah, oh, okay, we didn't do a draft two for that. one. Okay.
I will second that motion, Karen.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any other last minute items? No? Then I will, someone makes a motion for that, I guess.
I make a motion that we close the meeting
7:55.
I'll
at seven.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye.
And it was what time did we?
7:55.
Thank you.
Aye.